As the storm pushed farther east, the ripple effects continued to spread across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. By late afternoon, a second wave of lake-enhanced snow settled over Missouri, Illinois, and parts of southern Iowa, creating a new round of travel disruptions. What had started as a regional winter event was now affecting millions of people across several states. Emergency management teams in both Kansas and Kentucky issued updated warnings, urging residents to avoid unnecessary travel as temperatures continue to drop. Meteorologists noted that the combination of early-season cold air and strong moisture bands created a rare setup capable of producing dangerous road conditions in a very short amount of time. In several counties, power lines sagged under the weight of wet snow, causing outages that left thousands temporarily in the dark. Utility crews worked through the evening as winds increased, drifting snow back onto roads that had just been cleared. For many communities, it became clear that this first snowfall was more than an inconvenience. It was a stress test of the region's preparedness, response systems, and public awareness. Hospitals saw a rise in winter-related injuries as people slipped on icy sidewalks or were involved in minor collisions. Local shelters opened early for vulnerable residents, offering warm spaces as nighttime temperatures fell into the teens. Fire departments across Kansas and Kentucky reported multiple calls related to stranded vehicles, as drivers underestimated how quickly visibility could drop during heavy bursts of snow. By nightfall, transportation officials confirmed that crews would continue plowing and salting highways through the entire night. Interstate 35, Interstate 64, and Interstate 71, all major travel corridors, were expected to face delays well into the next morning. Meteorologists warned that the storm's second phase, arriving overnight, could bring black ice, the most dangerous winter hazard. Even a thin, nearly invisible layer could turn roads into skating rinks, making early morning travel extremely risky. Authorities urged residents to delay travel until after sunrise, when plows could make progress and temperatures might climb slightly above freezing. Despite the challenges, communities came together. Neighbors helped shovel walkways. Tow trucks worked continuously, and local volunteers assisted families stuck at home due to school closures. This early season snowstorm became not only an environmental test, but a reminder of how quickly winter can reshape daily life, demand rapid coordination, and expose weaknesses in city preparedness. As the storm moved toward Appalachia and the East Coast, meteorologists continued tracking its path, warning that more states would soon face their own first taste of winter. But for Kansas and Kentucky, December 2025 had already delivered a powerful message. The first snow is never just snow. It's a warning of what the rest of the season may hold. On December 1st, 2025, Kansas stepped into winter with a historic shock. Before most residents had even taken down their Thanksgiving decorations, an unusually intense storm swept across the state, dropping the earliest and heaviest early December snowfall in more than 40 years. Heavy snow blanketed Kansas City, Lawrence, Perry, Marysville, Tonganoxie, and Wichita, with accumulations far exceeding what forecasters initially expected. On the Kansas side of Kansas City, totals reached 4.5 inches, while the Missouri side measured around 3.4 inches. Perry collected 3 inches, Marysville 2.5, Lawrence 2, and Tonganoxie roughly 1.3 inches, a clear sign that winter had arrived far sooner and far stronger than usual. The impact was immediate. Schools announced closures and delays, buses struggled on icy roads, and public transportation slowed dramatically. Streets turned slick, visibility dropped sharply, and the morning commute dissolved into chaos. One of the most alarming incidents occurred when an Odor School District bus slid off 1300 Road and landed in a ditch. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported, but the incident underscored a harsh truth. The first snow of the season is often the most dangerous, especially for school transportation. Across Johnson County, Interstate 35, one of the Midwest's most important highways, saw dozens of crashes. By the afternoon, authorities had recorded over 100 accidents across the Kansas City metro, from minor fender benders to multi-vehicle collisions. Snow began piling up as early as 7 a.m., turning the first post-holiday commute into a hazardous ordeal. Wichita faced its own challenges. Early dismissals were issued from multiple schools. Elevated roads froze quickly, and several crashes were reported on I-235 Kellogg and interchanges connected to I-35. The Kansas Department of Transportation urged drivers to stay home unless absolutely necessary, as vehicles continued to skid across untreated roads. Traffic backups spread across the city, including a long standstill on Prospect Avenue stretching from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard all the way to 50th Street. The storm revealed how vulnerable transportation systems are when the first snow catches a city off guard. But Kansas wasn't the only state hit hard. That same morning, Kentucky was blasted by its first snowfall of the season, causing widespread disruption across Louisville, southern Indiana, and northern Kentucky counties. Roads quickly deteriorated, forcing schools to close or shift to virtual learning. In Louisville, several accidents were reported on Interstate 64, 65, and 264 by 8 a.m. A major crash on eastbound I-64 near 22nd Street created a massive traffic jam extending toward the Watterson Expressway and even reaching the Sherman-Minton Bridge. Farther north, an accident on I-71 in Gallatin County shut down all northbound lanes, bringing traffic to a complete stop. As conditions worsened, public agencies shifted strategy. TERC adjusted bus routes, police departments changed how they handled non-injury crashes, and emergency services redirected resources to the most serious incidents. Snow wasn't just slowing the city. It was forcing institutions to rethink operations on the spot. Drivers, unprepared for slick surfaces and sudden whiteouts, struggled across the region. Cars spun out, visibility dropped, and collisions piled up. Parents had to leave work early. Buses ran behind schedule, and city services were overwhelmed by the sudden demand for road clearing. By the end of the day, one conclusion was clear in both Kansas and Kentucky. The first snowfall of winter remains one of the most disruptive and dangerous seasonal events. Interstates 35, 64, 65, 71, and 264 all became critical hotspots, proving once again how quickly winter weather tests city infrastructure, transportation systems, and public preparedness. Even though no fatalities were reported in the school bus incident, the events of early December 2025 send a clear warning. Every winter, road safety must be a top priority, especially during that first unexpected snowfall.
You'd better go check out what's going on in Downer. Sounds like there's a few semis there too.